Today we're going to talk about stealing, theft, taking something that isn't yours that you are not entitled to. I do think everyone has done it at least once at one time or another when you were a child or what have you. And if you can get away with not paying taxes by telling a little white lie, are you doing that? Because there is a psychology behind it. It's pretty interesting. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Is how is theft messing up your abundance? I'm Ann Morrison, and this is As Ancient Studios Morning Meditation. Welcome. Now, theft could be so many little things. An extra penny given to you in change that you don't tell somebody and get back. And okay, the universe sends you extra money. But are you really looking at it that way? Or are you deciding that their mistake, my benefit? Which all are different psychologies on their own. When you feel abundant and your needs are being met, you don't need to steal. It is, and I just looked this up too. It says stealing is driven by a hidden tempest of emotions and unmet needs. It helps to fill voids, boosts self-esteem, and gives the person a fleeting sense of power and control. So if you're having a problem with your self-esteem, if you have a void that is not being filled, if you have a loss of the feeling of power and control in your life, then that could be a reason if this is something that you're doing. It's something I did when I was younger, and I don't know how I learned not to do it. It probably came with a lack of abundance somewhere. And it's not that I didn't have everything I needed. But I can pretty much trace any time that I have stolen or felt like I have stolen into a fleeting sense of not having power and not having control over my own life, of not having good self-esteem, of having voids and unmet needs and things of that sort. Cheating on your taxes. Why wouldn't you? Government's got enough money, don't they? Heaven knows they're spending it on things that I don't care about. But still. So, the thrill can provide a temporary escape from feelings of inadequacy or worthlessness. Leading to a cycle of theft is a coping mechanism for stress, anxiety, or depression. And I learned from this wonderful gal that I follow. She lives on a farm and she does a psychology. I interviewed with her once. She's just amazing. I'll remember her name or put it on a note underneath. But she's a psychologist and she has a farm and a group of psychologists that work with her. And she's doing these series for people on... It's building an emotional fortitude. She calls it something better because she's a psychologist. She's good at what she does. Yeah, she said that anxiety isn't an emotion. That fear and stress, and those are emotions. But anxiety isn't emotion. Anxiety is a symptom of an emotion. And it's an interesting point. So if we are coping with an emotion that isn't even an emotion, but a symptom of an emotion, by doing something that signals to the universe to everything that we're manifesting, to all of the energy out there, that I'm feeling I have no power. Granted. I'm feeling I have no control. Granted. I am feeling an unmet need with something that's really not going to meet it. I'm trying to boost my self-esteem with the fact I got away with it, which only works as long as you get away with it. But it still sends the same message that I have to boost my esteem in this way because I cannot boost it in another more solid, more tangible, life-affirming, gift-giving kind of way. I'm trying to figure out with a young lady why there is a psychology of stealing. I'm not saying you're doing it, but you know somebody who is. So, to try to understand it as the behavior that it is a lot deeper. It's not just getting what I want. It's the thrill of getting away with getting what I want, which signals to the universe, this is the only way I'm going to get what I want, is if I take it. When the universe was out there trying to manifest something you had earned, it says, okay, if that's the way you're going to get it, that's the way you're going to get it. We can so mess up our life trajectory, our relationships, by fulfilling unmet needs with things other than those things in them that we need. And sometimes it's scary, I mean, especially when it comes to personal relationships. Say, I am not getting the attention or respect that would make me feel very comfortable in a relationship. First of all, is it me or is it them? Am I sitting at home eating bonbons, expecting someone to bring home the bacon of, working 100 hours a week and then complaining that they're not there to eat them with me? That was an old thing. I'm hoping it's no longer happening as much as when I was a child. But if you have an unmet need, the scariest thing in the world can be to put your feelings totally out there and say, I would really like another couple hugs a week. I would really like 20 minutes of conversation that I can count on every day. I would really appreciate you talking to me as if you thought I were really intelligent. I would really appreciate confirmation that we are partners in everything over and over again. And that I am just as important in all of it as you are. And that both of us are trying our damnedest to make it happen. Because we're a team. That's wonderful. What unmet needs do you have right now that you are ducking? Because saying I want a couple hugs next week that I'm not used to getting, you might get no. And then if you do, you have to reevaluate all sorts of situations. It could be the truth that you were not ready to hear. Like when you clear your blockages in your body. They bring up things you thought you were done with, but they're still there. They're still blocking, or they wouldn't still be coming back up. PTSD is taking trauma that hasn't properly been dealt with in a mind in victimhood and disrupts everything. And it happens not just with soldiers and very traumatic life or death, blow people up kind of incidences. It happens in all sorts of ways with children on a playground with people in a business setting, with you talking to someone at the grocery store. That cashier may have just had the most devastating news of their life. Are you sitting there saying, I hope they're okay? Or are you like, oh, yeah, bring that kind of attitude to work kind of business? And are you giving that which you are asking for? Are you giving compassion? Are you saying, hey, what do you need today that I can help fill? And our actions do a lot to our energy and the things that we are manifesting in the world. Our words do just as much. And it's so easy to get caught up in, well, why is that person doing this and why are they doing that? And most of it comes down to, I am acting in a way that is against my better good because I am avoiding, I am only used to judging, I am not going forward with my gift in my life, I am not giving to others in the way that I feel that I should be. Theft. That's what started it, stealing some grapes. Not the end of the world. But the psychology behind it can really do some serious damage to you, to your life, to your surroundings, to your ability to go forward in the best way possible. And so that part is dire. Buy more grapes. But that part really is dire. Are you hurting yourself in some way to fulfill a need that it's not fulfilling? And take a look at it. People do this with alcohol. They do this with drugs. They do this with theft. They do this with blaming others. They do this with gossip. They do this with judgment. And then they go home and they wonder, why am I feeling all this judgment from everybody? What we put out is what we receive. And it's not a bad time right now. We've gotten over some really volatile stuff here recently. And it's not a bad time right now to do a little bit of stock taking and say, what am I giving out into the world? When that cashier's having a bad day, am I thinking, oh yeah, real professional? Or am I thinking, wow, honey, I hope you get through it. Looks pretty tough. You don't have to say anything. Just the thought behind your face gives away the whole game. When you steal, you are having some problems in some other areas. And you are either fulfilling your self-esteem by getting away with it, or you're filling a void of some unmet need. And the truth is, better than that. You can earn it. You can go forward. You can give your gifts to the world. Nobody has to steal them. You can be there and you can be understanding instead of just being angry. And you can help figure out the psychology behind those self-destructive patterns that are leading you to do something destructive instead of something that could actually really do the whole thing for you. If I need self-esteem, I'll go out and take a walk a little bit longer than I thought I could. Do a jog. Find a way to make my business happen. Find a way to help other people with my gifts. Put together a training course. Put together something and give it for free to the universe. And then follow whatever the hell that ride has for you on the way. You don't need to do something destructive to get those feelings sated. You can sate them all through doing something very constructive. So today we're going to work on those things that are self-destructive that we do. And we're going to find another way to fill whatever void it is that's being filled. Like coffee. If it wasn't done the way it's done here, it could be very self-destructive. Most of the coffee, especially in America, is covered in mold. Mold sets off allergic reactions in the body, whether you feel them or not, which causes your body to not function really well. If you do too much of it, it overstresses and overstimulates your nervous system, which makes your body not function well. If you don't do any at all, there's no adverse effect. But it's a really good vehicle for giving yourself the fats that you need for the day. Because our body runs really good on fat. There are things that are good that we could be using in a way that is not good for us. Chocolate, wonderful for your health. Until they take out all the cocoa butter and add processed colors and artificial flavors and super refined sugars, and then gives you a heart attack. There are constructive ways to eat chocolate. There's constructive ways to do coffee. There are constructive ways to have a hamburger. If you do it in a different way, you could be getting some really good health benefits from it. So today, we're going to pop into that mind palace and let's see if we can start putting ourselves in better touch with what our needs truly are. And then we can take the time to let our body think on it while we're not necessarily there. And you'll come up with solutions that are good for you, good for the universe, good for the things that you want and desire in this world. And you can do that instant. Like the diabetic who has to have a spoon of sugar every morning. Or a piece of rice pudding. We know when we're doing something to our physicality that is self-destructive. Like my Pepsis. And yes, I still have a Pepsi almost every day. And the truth is, I would be healthier if I were to cut those down. What am I fulfilling with that Pepsi? I think I am fulfilling the need to get through the guilt of sitting down. So I guess I'll have to come up with another way. Let's pop into our ego, us. Some of this stuff is, I'm a grown person, I can do this. I can have me a Pepsi, I can have me a cup of coffee, and it's not going to destroy everything. And getting healthier isn't so much about what you take away, it's about what you add. If I have an extra glass of ice water with lemon and ginger in it, then I'd probably be doing better off even if I had a Pepsi. So add an extra glass of water. And then I'm going to deal with the psychology of why I feel guilty sitting down and resting for a moment. And then I will have something to say to myself instead of reaching for my wonderful, fabulous little fizzing sweet nectar of Pepsi. We all do this on some level, I think. At least if you're here with me, because we're imperfect. And bless you, all you wonderful, perfect people who don't need this. And I wish you the best, and I am trying to attain a better state for myself while embracing the fact that I am not perfect. So, too much stress, too much maintenance, that perfect thing. Okay, pull into our it. Straight spine, get your ears over your tail, and let that flow down your spinal column. Work really well. Feel the sense of you, the you in this body, the you connected to the physicality of this wonderful experience of life that we're in. Let's bring it down. Let's connect to the earth. Bring it up. Feel the different areas vibrating and harmonizing together. Connect to the ether, the higher power, the universe, the God being. Allow the download. Feel the unconditional love. Let yourself feel you are part of this ocean. Let's come into the mind palace. Calm the tornado. Doors, windows, drains, us. What are the behaviors or patterns right now that we are using to fill a void deconstructively? And go ahead and give yourself a list of 5. Number 1, I could be exercising more. Number 2, Pepsi. Number 3, I could get more physical human contact in an adult way, in a business way. Number 4, a little more self-care. And number 5, less self-blame for simple things like resting. I'll take those and we're going to put them on a screen out there. And then we're going to remember that we are all powerful, energetic beings. And from our fingertips, we're going to shoot lasers at them. Pew, 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 pew. We're going to disseminate them, obliterate them. Pew, 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 pew. And we're going to fulfill ourselves with love, understanding, action, and compassion. And the rest of that could fall into ash. And the answers to how to do that, our wonderful brains are going to give us in the next 24 hours. We're just going to have the guts to go with them. And then we won't be doing things destructive instead of constructive for our own personal little hang-ups. Back into who we are. Orange, red, connect to the earth, ground. it up. And feel ourselves letting go of the burden of those. I carry mine on my shoulders, right back there on the right-hand side. So I'm going to let it feel like a backpack just peeling off. Don't got to carry those anymore. Just have to be open to the messages coming about how to go forward without them still fulfilling what they fulfill. Shake it out, open your eyes, and welcome back to the day. And this day, you're in charge. Namaste.